I hope that you are well. I am so sorry that I haven't really made a video in about a week. Things have been crazy here. But I'm so happy to be here and to see you now. We are going to talk about one of my um, favorite rides, but bigger concern rides in Walt Disney World. It is Splash Mountain. It's located in the original Disney World park, the Magic Kingdom. Um, Usually the park that people think of when they think of Disney. So I'm addressing this ride simply because it is a popular ride. It is going to get refurbished, so I have a feeling we'll be revisiting this ride in the future. But this is Splash Mountain as it is right now, is what we're covering, and wheelchair accessibility. The reason, like I said, I'm covering this one is it is a lot of people's favorite. And it poses several interesting issues when it comes to wheelchairs and mobility. So when you're in the queue, it does start off with kind of a ramp, but very quickly you can see it from before you even walk up to the queue. There are stairs. Before you hit the stairs, there will be a cast member that will send you basically up the exit, and they'll tell you to go that way. Just be very careful of people exiting the ride because they are not expecting a family with a wheelchair to be coming up the exit. So know that like I said, enter the queue as normal and the cast member will guide you and tell you where to go. You will not have to deal with the stairs. There's also not an elevator. So I know I've read online there's an elevator. There is not an elevator. You just enter the exit and it's basically a ramp. And you go up and you'll end up on the opposite side pretty much as everyone else. That being said, when you get there, the ride vehicle, you cannot bring a wheelchair into it. It is not actually wheelchair accessible. And I'm going to say this is a ride where gravity benefits you when you're getting onto the ride, but is your enemy when you're exiting the ride. What that means is that, so it's a step down ride. It's a log flume ride. I don't know if you're not familiar with the ride. It is a whimsical ride based off from Disney's Songs of the South. It's kind of the actual movie is very controversial, but the ride is an enjoyable ride. As is, it is pretty enjoyable. But that being said, you hear zippity doo dah. It's a flume ride, and there's a big, huge hill at the end. You go up and over. So that being said, though, to load into the ride, it is a step down. There is not a transfer board or any way. You just have to have. This is similar to, I'm gonna say, Gringotts at Universal, and I don't know if I covered this at Gringotts, that it is a huge step down. So gravity will help you get down and help your family transfer you onto the ride, and Disney will hold the ride to give you time to load on. So that is good to know. The issue, I think, with probably almost everyone is the exit, because you have to go up, right? So you're down in this log, like I'm in a log, and you can't get out. I have heard people say, well, I was able to get up and onto the floor, and then my family helped me up from the floor into my chair. That is a personal preference. That is obviously to each his own. If you are maybe a smaller person, your family member might be able to pick you up and pick you out. The chair, once you unload, will be very, very close to your log. That's not so much an issue, and the cast member can bring your chair right up there. Cast members are not supposed to actually help you out of the ride. Not telling on cast members, but they tend to be very helpful. So you may luck out in that category, but they're not supposed to. I think it's due to liability, but I could be wrong. So that being said, though, it is down low, and I just need to be honest with you. Is it doable for someone that can transfer, someone that maybe can walk a few steps, maybe somebody that has good upper body strength that can push themselves up? Because there's really nowhere to hold on to. It's not one of the older rides, and it's not one of the newer rides that has the little open door that you can open the door and just slide in and out. Nothing opens on this log. So it's set down low and nothing open, so there's no easy way to get you in and out, which stinks and is beyond, I don't know what's going on here, which is beyond unfair. So that being said, I think you need to know that. If you're not concerned about that, that's my biggest concern. As someone that's relaying this to you, like I said, the load in, gravity will work with you. And you'll be able to get down in there. It is very narrow. It's tight quarters. And anyone that has a family member with mobility concerns knows that a little extra space is always helpful, so that you can move the person in, move the person out, and then you yourself can get in. It's kind of tight. There is a lap restraint, just so you know that. It's a regular Flume ride, so it's a little bumpy, a little bouncy, but nothing too crazy. There are some little hills inside. I'm gonna call them hills. I don't know. You're going up and down. You leave, and everything's good once you get on the log ride. Okay, it doesn't get crazy initially. You get out, and you will most likely get a little wet. They do regulate the water pending the day and the time of year. So there have been times where I've barely gotten wet at all on this ride. Know that it's not a guarantee you will get wet, but there are some people that do get soaked. So that's good to know. A lot of the ride is outside. So also know that it's not all inside, it's not all outside, and it is a longer ride. So you go in, like I said, we're following Briar Rabbit on his adventure. And they'll take you to all these different places. Now, I am not familiar with, I believe it's the Uncle Remus's stories. And so I don't know how closely they follow those stories. Like I said, it's Song of the South covers it. And because of the movie being what it is, which is it's not readily available to watch if you wanted to watch it. And it's definitely right now just hard. If you, like I said, if you wanted to see it, I don't know where you would get a copy of that. So some of it I'm kind of clueless to just because of that. So that being said, you go outside and you'll go up and around what kind of looks like a mountain, right? It's called Splash Mountain. It kind of looks like a mountain. And then you'll go inside and you'll continue to follow him on his antics, and he wants to leave. And both good and bad happens. The ride gets darker and darker as you go. And the biggest hill, you'll know because you start going up this hill and it's pretty obvious it's a Flume ride. You'll see these two vultures. I want to say they're vultures at the top of the hill, and it's like there's no turning back, and they're like ah, ha, ha, ha. And then all of a sudden you go up and down and outside. That hill is a little crazy. You may my husband lost his hat on it, so if you're wearing a hat, hold on to it or take it off because it went flying. So be aware of that. As far as sitting up, bouncing around, as long as you have a semi-stable core, you should be fine on this. Like I said, it's cozy, tight quarters, so you're not going to go flying around. There's a restraint, so you should not go flying around. Overall, I'm thinking, this is my thinking face. Overall, you should be fine. It's that load in, load out that would be my concern, is my concern. Again, the load in is fine, the load out, not great, not conducive to anyone that can't somehow push up or have family members that can easily pull them up and out. So I'm sorry I don't have better news. It doesn't mean that you can't ride it. This is just to let you know that this one's a little trickier. And some of it is just due to when the ride was created. The rides that are older, some of them are better, and rides that are newer, some of them are better. But this particular time period, not so great. I'm also going to kind of give you a spoiler. Space Mountain isn't that great as far as loading in and loading out procedure, but I'll cover that in a different video. I am so happy to see you. And if you have any specific questions about Splash Mountain, please write, comment. I would love it if you'd subscribe. And again, I'm just so happy to see you and have a wonderful day. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.